Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Nad here. Hope you're well. Welcome to this video on the 4 fears of trading by Mark Douglas. Today, guys, I'll be covering the mindset that is required to become a trader. And we'll be covering the 4 fears of trading by the late Mark Douglas, somebody that I follow, somebody that I've respected in industry as well, someone who's actually been classified as a trader's trader. On the psychology of trading. And psychology plays a massive part in learning how to trade the Forex market. And today I'll be showing you the 4 fears of what people go through during this journey and how trading psychology plays nearly 80% part of your success in Forex trading. So guys, let me share my screen with you if I may. Bear with me one moment. It's okay, guys. My name is Ahmed. So, as I said, I'll be covering the Forex mindset training today, which is the 4 fears of trading. So, let's just go through this. So, let's just go through a little bit of the basics at the moment if we can. Why learn to trade? Skill for life are written down there. 2 or 3 years ago, or a number of years ago, when I started to learn how to trade, my background, first of all, was in the corporate sector. So, I've been in project management for nearly 8 years. I did a lot of work for the military, which was the Ministry of Defense headquarters. For the Royal Navy, and I've had other jobs like Boeing Aerospace. I've managed big clients like Microsoft, Computer Associates, and many other big corporate blue chip companies. But trading was always in the back of my mind. I did stock as a family. We had a stock portfolio in the stock market, and we had some wins and we had some losses there. But Forex was something definitely that was something that I felt I needed to explore more about, something I needed to learn, because I knew that the job market wasn't great. I know there are virtually no more pensions, there are no more jobs for life. And despite this artificial intelligence being a wonderful thing, it's replacing 20 people's jobs, 50 people's jobs, 100 people's jobs by the push of a button. But the one thing constant in our life, through my life, through probably my children's life and my children's life, will always be money. So I realized that if I could learn how to multiply money with the right risk parameters, with the right disciplines, and create consistency there, this would be truly a skill for life. So the importance of learning to trade for me was very, very high. And I think more importantly, every eminent individual I knew, successful person I knew, was using the Forex trading platform to multiply money. So the importance of the right mindset when trading. And I'm going to go through that in more detail about why it's so important to have the right mindset, to have the right disciplines when you're learning to trade and as you're progressing through the journey as well. And also some of the tools available to you to become a consistent and profitable trader. So here's some Forex fun facts. First of all, I hope you will enjoy this. Not many people are aware that Forex trading dates back to ancient times. Guys, we've been trading since bartering systems. Then we used precious metals and gems. And then obviously we had the paper currency go after that. And of course, today we have things like digital currency like Bitcoin and other things. And I can see currency evolving again throughout the generations. Some other fun facts, guys. I mean, I had zero experience in trading the Forex market when I first joined. And I will be very honest, I didn't think I could do it. I wasn't very good at maths. I wasn't very good technically. But like everything in life, you learn. I learned how to do my exams. I learned how to, when I needed to start my first job. I learned how to be when I was a father. So we always continue learning throughout our life, and you never stop learning. So here's just some fun facts. Something that people always ask me, curious enough, is what is this bullish market and bearish market is about? What are bulls and bears? What does that mean? And I just put this down here when I simply just said, look, when a bull strikes with its horns, it normally strikes upwards. When it goes slightly down and it goes up, which means a bullish market means the market is going upwards. So the euro is going upward or the dollar is going upwards. And a bearish market is normally the bear strikes down when it's attacking, which means the market is going down. So just a little bit of trivia information there. Now, the US dollar is still very much the big currency. Nearly 80% of all Forex trades are done with the US dollar. It's still the global currency out there. And currently, the digital currency and Forex market is producing nearly $6 trillion a day. Now, give you an idea, guys, in 1 trillion, there's 1,000 billion. And to give an example of what the commodity market does, I think the New York Stock Exchange does roughly about 25 billion a day. The Japanese yen, the stock market does 13 billion a day, and our very own London Stock Exchange does 7 billion a day. So compared to $6 trillion a day, you know, the Forex market is definitely the biggest liquid market in the world. Now, we know the banks and government institutions have been trading for a very, very long time. Actually, they kept us out. I think you needed literally about 60 million liquid funds in your account to say that you could trade as a retail trader, and that's what we are. We are retail traders. We are the lowest of the low, but at least it gives us an opportunity to get in the market. About 22 years ago, they opened up the market to people like ourselves to allow us to trade. But the cost of learning how to trade, you were paying 60, 70,000 a year for a learning solution or an education solution in the Forex market. Obviously, things have slightly come down from there, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about the learning solution that I have and that I use daily as well to help me to learn how to trade the Forex market and how to become a successful Forex trader. Some more facts just very quickly, guys. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but one thing for the ladies, because I work with some really powerful ladies, just to let you know, you only occupy 11% of female traders in the Forex market. And that's something, being a father of 2 daughters, something that I'm looking to increase every day as well. What is a mindset? Your mindset is a collection of thoughts and beliefs that shape your thought habit. And your thought habits affect how you think, what you feel, and what you do. Your mindset impacts how you make sense of the world and how it makes sense of you. And as I said, the psychology of trading is a fundamental big aspect. I mentioned before that it's 80% psychology, 20% technique. So we must get the psychology side done and work on every single day. And part of our coaching program is to help you in that area. As I mentioned, 80-20. I personally think it should be 90-10 from my experience in the Forex market. But the 2 biggest mindset challenges that we're going to have to overcome during our journey, one definitely is risk. If you believe that trading is 0 risk, that's going to be very dangerous. If you believe trading is high risk, then you will never trade. So how do we actually find the right balance here? Fear is the other thing, and I think fear is probably what I've experienced most while I've been trading, and what I've heard from people I mentor or coach in the industry about how much fear they've had when they first started trading, but they knew it was still a necessity to learn how to trade. So let's go through the fear aspects today. So the 4 common fears of trading that I'm going to cover today: 1 is being wrong, 2nd is losing out on a trade, 3 is missing out, and 4 is greed. So let's go through this. Guys, fear of being wrong, perfection. I do not know anything out there that is perfect. I could walk down the same road 1,000 times. I will not walk the same 1,000 times. I might slip on one occasion. There might be a bump in the pavement. So anything can take you off course. It doesn't matter how much validation you do in the trade, something can go wrong there. The whole thing about perfection, in my opinion, is you've got to come away from that mindset, from that thought. You will miss out on trades, you will get trades wrong, but the whole objective of what we're trying to do here is to win more than what we lose in trading. So never be fearful if you don't believe you're being perfect on trading. That's totally acceptable in our industry. Fear of losing money. This is another big one. First of all, guys, I will not work with anybody that wants to go live trading from day one. The beautiful thing about my organization and what we do is we have no affiliations to any broker. We don't trade on your behalf, so we don't hold your money. We are purely 100% an educational institution. We want to give you the skills and the power and the knowledge to allow you to be able to go and trade anywhere in the world, at home, while you're on holiday, whatever you're doing. But if you have a fear of losing money, then trading, you need to look at that very carefully. What I always recommend is we all start on a demo account, which is like monopoly money. It's real signals and real trade ideas, but the actual account is demo. So basically, we can make mistakes there. You know, it's our learning zone more than anything else. And guys, when you do go live and trading, most brokers take roughly about £200, 200 sterling or $200 minimum for you to be able to start trading with them. We can always recommend good brokers. I have 4 or 5 that I personally use. But if you have a fear of losing money, first of all, you should only be trading with disposable income. If you can't afford to put that money in the bin, set light to it, walk away without looking at it, you cannot trade with that money, ladies and gentlemen. So be careful what you do. And most importantly, is every time I do a trade, I'm looking to trade at a maximum risk of about 2% per trade. So I'm very risk averse. Risk management is a key component of when you trade. And again, we're going to help you through that process during your journey. Fear of missing out. You know, it's funny, today I had a conversation this morning. I missed out on 2 trades this week, which would have given me probably about 200 pips in total. The one trade I did take gave me about a 60 odd pip loss. But there's always going to be another trade coming up. The one thing about this market is it's 24 hours, 5 days a week. So if you miss out on a trade, I promise you, there'll always be another trade opportunity coming up in a few minutes, a few hours, and a few days' time. And the one thing I would always recommend is never chase the market, let the market come to you. So never be fearful about missing out on a trade. Never be jealous of somebody else that might have been successful in a trade, because as I said, there will always be another trade around the corner. Fear of not having enough, greed. Greed is probably the killer of trading. I call it the gambler's mindset, the instant gratification. You've just got to look at your bank account, guys. Now, we know the banking industry are major players in the Forex market. They use your money, they use my money to trade on their behalf. But what do they give us in return? Now, what we try to do is we try to set with you a percentage growth that we look to try to achieve every day, every week, every month. But based again on consistency, being consistent, being a good risk manager. Because in trading, again, it's not what you're trying to gain, it's what you're prepared to lose. This is how we work. You're a risk manager from day one. And if you do not control your greed in trading, it will kill you. And I will give you a prime example of how greed has affected so many people, including myself. I remember somebody showed me their trade results. I took the exactly same trade, and my trade, I don't know, made me about £25. Their trade made them £250 for the same trade, and I could not understand what had happened there. Why did I make £25, and why did they make £250 on that trade? Because it was dependent on how much money they were trading with. My account was much lower. So what I did was I increased my risk from a couple of percent up to about 6, 7, 8% on the next trade with the same amount of money in my account. Unfortunately, I lost that trade, and I actually blew my whole account literally in under 1 hour. But that was nothing to do with the signal. It was nothing to do with the education. It was all to do with my greed. So stop gambling, guys. Stop taking risks that you shouldn't do. Our whole objective is to enhance and enrich and empower you to learn to trade. But we need to create that consistency and that discipline. And if you create those 2 things in trading, I promise you, you will only see positive results forward. The attitude of the right mindset. I've written a couple of things like learning to drive, the boxer's mindset, and I'll try to explain them in more detail. Learning to drive. I remember when I was doing my test, I was learning from my brother, and I actually learned all the bad things, which did not help me in my driving test. So it's so important, first of all, guys, to learn from the right people, to learn and build the foundation correctly from day one. But imagine learning to drive, imagine driving and getting into the car, but you don't know where the brake pedal is, and off you go, but you don't know where the brake pedal is. That's extremely dangerous, so your risk is very high. So learning the fundamentals before you even get into the car to learn how to drive is so important. To also not have a fear of driving, and this will come from experience, this will come from you taking those basic steps forward. The boxer's mindset is interesting because a boxer fights for roughly about 30 minutes. That's how long their match roughly lasts, roughly. But they train sometimes for that one match for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. They learn much more about their opponent, which for me is learning more about the fundamental aspect, which is news related on Forex trading. They learn a lot more about themselves, they learn the discipline, but most importantly would be this. Can you imagine the bell rings, ding, ding, and off the box it goes, and straight away, we try to knock the person out in the first second. What that can do is, yes, you may connect with that individual, but also you may get knocked out yourself because you're leaving yourself open for an attack. Now, in my opinion, your mindset should be is to win every boxing match on points. This is the mindset, to take your time, to be disciplined, and take it step by step and step, not over leveraging, not risking, and actually be disciplined during this process. So the boxer's mindset for me is a key driver in learning the right mindset of learning how to trade. How to help our mindset become stronger? Well, guys, first of all, I was very blessed to come across this company called iMastery. I did not know how good they were going to be. I checked out a lot of other companies. I tried a few other companies as well. I even tried a couple of auto traders, which worked quite nicely for a few weeks, for a month, but things went wrong. And for me, I really wanted to learn how to trade myself. I wanted to do what the banks did, because I knew the difference between them and me was purely just education. So I wanted a platform that I could learn, and I came across the iMastery Academy through a dear friend. Now, how I learn everything is I always give everything 90 days, a 90-day window for anything I do in life. So I gave this 90 days. And I didn't think I'd go past 90 days, but I started to go through the videos. Some lasted 2 minutes, some lasted 5 minutes. There were basic level videos to intermediate to advanced to more technical to mindset videos as well. But it was the A to Z of learning how to trade. Because for me, learning how to trade is like learning a new language. You take the alphabet, then the vowels and nouns, you start speaking small sentences until you start speaking the language of money. So I was very impressed with what they did. So that really helped me become a stronger and more disciplined trader. They also had something called Go Live. And what I was very impressed with, when I first started, they only had about 60 educators. And you had educators who were trading on say, for example, gold, or how to trade the harmonics, or how to trade cryptocurrency. But they've grown to 130 full-time educators. And what I really loved about them, there were different time zones, as I said, different styles of educators. And I realized I wanted to find somebody I like the sound of. As I realized when I like the sound of somebody, I tend to listen to them much more. And I have gone through so many educators there and found people that I've enjoyed listening to. Cryptocurrency, as I said, gold, and particularly my favorite is the harmonics, which is for me was the flagship of this company, where virtually 70% of the work is being done for you. But what I'm learning is I'm learning how to place the indicators to validate if I'm going to place that trade or not. But don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, if you miss out on a signal or miss out on a trade opportunity, I promise you there's always more around the corner. As I mentioned, some of the services have helped, and the right mindset. And things also that help us gain a stronger mindset, gain that structure, gain that platform, is things like risk plans, risk to reward, how much risk you're gaining for a reward. I work on a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, so I risk 1 percentage to gain 3%. So risk plans are something which we can work on, which will enhance your learning experience while you're learning to trade. Trading plans. Now, this was an interesting one. When I first joined, I did not have a trading plan. I call it rules of engagement, like going to war. But this was something that probably I learned as I started to trade, and I started to learn when is not a good time to trade. I often have to take medication, which impaired my judgment. So when I'm taking medication, I don't trade. Some people, when they've had a drink, maybe not a good time to trade, because again, it makes you lose your judgment. And these are things on a trading plan. One of the things somebody wrote to me is sometimes I may not respect money as much as I should. So someone said money doesn't grow on a tree, money is not water. So learn actually how to be more disciplined. So these were rules of engagement that every time before I start to trade, I read my rules of engagement, my trading plan, which is next to me while I'm trading, and I tick it off just to make sure that I'm good to learn, good to go to start trading today. And I feel the trading plan is something which is fundamental for everybody who wants to become a consistent trader and helps you in your mindset during the process. Fundamental news, ladies and gentlemen, is a key component. I'm very blessed to have great social media groups, great teams of people, some with zero experience in trading, some with veteran traders, and impact news plays a big part in trading. You know, for example, if we're trading the US dollar and suddenly high impact news where maybe Donald Trump might say, you know, we don't like somebody, or we may be going to war, it has an adverse effect on your currency. Now, if you're looking for a buy, it could suddenly go the opposite way because of the negativity aspect of what you've just heard news. So fundamental news, I think there's probably maybe at least medium or high risk news at least once every week in 52 weeks in a year. So this is something which we will feed into our social media groups for all our members, so they're aware of anything which is going out in the market. So it's just so basically we're keeping an eye on our trades for any movements which may go slightly the wrong way. Social media groups, online Zoom training. Guys, what I've realized is so important to keep on learning, to keep on growing, but it's so important for you guys also to step up. We provide social media teams, as I mentioned. We provide daily and sort of weekly online training, whether it be mindset training, whether it be technical training, all aspects of training for our members that allow them to grow during their journey. And most important, guys, we've got to sleep better, we've got to breathe, and we've got to eat better. It's so important that our internal change is happening while we're growing, and you need to be coachable and teachable while you're going through this journey. When I first started to learn how to trade, I started literally putting 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day. I ran a couple of companies as well, but I knew this was something that I had to be disciplined and be consistent on every single day during this process. Things that I listened to help improve my mindset. First of all, we're very blessed to have a gentleman called Christopher Terry, who's a very eminent person in industry, and his beautiful wife, Isis De La Torre, who's also a Series 7 stock trader. She's the CFO. Now, recently, we've just partnered with Bob Proctor, the godfather of mindset coaching out there in the industry. And Christopher Terry and Bob Proctor are actually producing for the IM Academy this fantastic mindset training, which I think is going to be mind-blowing, which is going to help so many people. Bob Proctor has changed so many people's lives from the psychology of our inner being. And him and Christopher Terry are our CEO, who is just a phenomenal trader. He's what's called a swing trader, who's helped so many of us. I think this is going to be mind-blowing for so many people. Of course, I mentioned Mark Douglas as I've been talking about the 4 Fears of Trading. Here's a book that I would 100% recommend, which is Trading in the Zone. And Mark Douglas, as I said, has been somebody that's helped so many traders around the world to get a stronger mindset when it comes to trading. And finally, guys, just wrapping up now, always remember that ease is a greater threat to our progress than hardship. When something's easy, we don't grow from it, we don't learn from it, and then we expect the easy route every single time. But I want you to look back at every hardship you've ever had. And when you've got through that hardship, whether it be growing pains, whether it be growing up, whether it be your first relationship, when in marriage, it could be, dealing with bills, whatever it is, when you first started work, when you were a parent. But when you've got through those hardships, not only potentially have you gained monetary gain from it, but you've also grown spiritually, more importantly. So embrace hardship. Hardship is a good thing. Hardship progresses your future. Risk nothing, make nothing, and you just get more of the same. Guys, a form of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. We know we have to change the dynamics of where we are today. We know we have to create a new plan B. Most important, guys, we need to create a new plan A, especially in this very, very uncertain economic market that we're in at the moment. And of course, with these health viruses that are going around, which has impacted the job market, impacted health, and it's just going crazy out there at the moment. Finally, guys, I love this quote: courage keeps you going. You're stronger than you think. Faith can move mountains. Guys, please feel free to check me out on LinkedIn. If you want to take more advantage of our FX education platform, or email me or subscribe to my services, I'm going to be posting many more videos on Forex trading and trading and mindset training as well, and life training as well. As I said, I've been around for a few years now, so I hope that I can pass back. Let me just stop sharing my screen. And I hope you found that training very useful, guys. Keep stepping up, keep learning, keep growing, keep believing, keep finding solutions which can allow you can learn and earn. We need to change the dynamics who we are today, as I mentioned before. And it's so important to find the right coach, the right mentor to guide you. What we are purely sat navs. You enter the destination, and we're going to try to guide you to the end destination. But it's so important to keep on stepping up every single day, to meet us halfway, and then watch the magic happen. And finally, guys, what I just want to ask you, just one last question before I leave this call today, is ask yourself, how much money has flown through your bank account, and how much money have you made over it over the last 5 years or 7 years or 10 years? And for me, the answer was virtually very little or nothing. So I know that if I can take 10% of my earnings and I can learn how to multiply that to create another annual income from Forex trading, I think it's an incredible skill, and a skill that you can pass on to your children and to your children's children. Guys, first of all, results are never guaranteed. What you put in is what you're going to get out as well from the learning aspect. Thank you so much, and please do check out my future videos. All the best. Take care.